What's good, everybody? It's me, Key. Welcome back to my channel. Did y'all miss me? I missed y'all so much. I needed to take a well-needed break because I was just dealing with some stuff, y'all, but I am back to share more stories with y'all. But before we get started, I just want to let y'all know I do have a new goal that I'm trying to reach. I'm trying to hit 10K before the end of the year. So if you're new here or if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video. Now, as y'all can see by the title of this video, I'm back with what? Another story time, and not just any story time. This is going to be part 2 to my pregnant in jail story time. Some of y'all have been asking about this story for so long, and I'm finally ready to share with y'all. So let's go ahead and get into it. Oh, and if y'all can hear my baby snoring in the background, y'all, it's late. And I would put him in another room, but we're the only ones home, and he can't sleep alone. So my bad, y'all. Y'all gonna hear a little bit of snoring. So we left off when me, cousin, and Peaches were about to be transferred to the actual jail. We were still downtown on 4th Avenue at the holding facility. So everybody who was going to be transferred to jail were in one cell, and the people who were going home or still had to see the judge were in another cell. But remind y'all, Peaches wasn't with me and cousin. I don't know if she had to go see the judge again or what, because she wasn't with us. And Peaches not only caught that shoplifting charge, she did pick up another charge. She had caught that DRUGS charge, so I do believe that she had to see the judge again. The police or whoever, police CO, whoever, they never tell you anything. All they do is call you out and tell you to follow them. So they call all of us out the cell and they cuff us up and have us line up. People who've been to jail before already know what's going on. So everybody who hasn't been in jail can hear people on the line saying, oh yeah, they're about to transfer us now, because they don't tell us nothing. The police don't tell us anything. So I'm like, okay, listening to the people on the line, we're about to head down to the jail now. So we end up walking outside into the van. There's a van that transported us. And I believe it was like really late at night. Like, I didn't know what time it is because they don't tell you the time and they don't have any clocks up. I only believe it was really late because we were downtown, and downtown is always busy. So if it wasn't busy, it has to be really late at night. We're loading up in the van. I wouldn't say that it was a lot of us, but it's just too many people to be riding in the back of a van. So everybody's just loading up in the van, and the van is super dark. I don't remember if it had windows or not, but I remember it was really dark, or they probably just had the windows blacked out, so you can't see anything in the van. It's just, the ride is just completely dark. Most of the people that you're in jail with, they're coming off drugs. So most of the people in the van are sick. They're coming off drugs, and I'm sure they haven't showered in a minute. So y'all can only imagine what the van ride smelled like. It was just horrible, y'all. I was so irritated. They in there coughing. I'm just like, I can't deal with this. I got OCD. I don't want nobody by me coughing. You know, they'd be rude as hell and not cover their mouth. I'm just literally over the ride. I'm just screaming on the inside, get me the up out this van. Now, I don't remember how long the ride was. Could have been 30 to 40 minutes. I don't know. Just know that I was back there suffering the whole entire time. So the van finally comes to a stop. The police let everybody out. We all line up and we follow the police to our next destination. So we go inside of the jail. They have us line up, and then they lead us into a cell. Now, this cell was different. It wasn't completely closed in like the other cell down at 4th Avenue. This jail had like the holes in it. You know how you watch a movie and it's a jail cell, you can like stick your hand. It was just like that. We're all just sitting in the jail cell. Like I said, they don't tell us nothing. We don't know what time it is. We just have to sit there and wait until they call us. So we're probably sitting in the cell for a good 3 hours. And I'm so tired. Like, I'm just talking to cousin. Yeah, cousin's with me. I'm just talking to cousin, trying to stay awake because I'm dozing off. But I'm like, I keep waking up because I don't like going to sleep in front of people that I don't know. I don't feel comfortable. So I tell cousin, I'm like, I have to pee. And she's like, why don't you just go pee? Because the toilet is literally in the cell with us. And I'm like, even though I peed a few times around people, I just still don't feel comfortable. Like, this is weird. And plus, like, the police and everybody, they can see me using the bathroom. Because it was like, girl, you have to go to the bathroom. You're pregnant. And y'all, I am so good at holding my pee. I do not care. I will hold it. I remember when I was working at a call center when I was pregnant with my second baby. I was like 9 months pregnant, and the bathroom at the call center stunk so bad. The smell made you want to throw up, so I could not use that bathroom. I would literally wait all day, wait the whole 8.5, 9 hour shift and go home in peace. I remember I told my mom what I was doing. She was like, you can't be doing that. You have to use the bathroom. So what I would do on my lunch break is I would go down to the hotel that was right next to my job, and I would use the bathroom there because it was clean and it didn't have a horrible smell that made me want to throw up. So that's what I would do. I'm good for holding my pee. But at that time, I'm in jail. Like, I can't hold my pee because I really don't know how long I'm going to be holding it. So cousin, she finally convinced me to use the bathroom. She's just like, girl, I'll block you. Ain't nobody going to be watching you. I got you. Just go ahead and go. So a couple more hours go by, and the police or CO, whoever, they finally start calling people out of the cell. So I'm one of them that gets called out. And I remember the lady telling me, she was just like, everybody strip. And I'm like, what, you just want us to take off our clothes? We leave on our underwear, right? She's like, no, take off everything. And I'm like, thinking to myself, what? Like, I didn't say anything, but I'm just thinking that in my head, like, girl, please. You want me to get butt bookie naked in front of everyone? No. So she took us to a stall. It's not a closed stall, but it's just a stall with like a wall up. And she took us over there, and I had to get completely naked. And then y'all, tell me why she told me I had to bend over, spread my cheeks, and cough. I was like, really? You want me to do all this and I'm pregnant? She said, yeah. So y'all, guess what I did? I bent over, I spread my cheeks, and I coughed. She wanted me to cough 2 times. But I did it because she said so. I'm in jail. Like, what am I going to do? Tell her no? So after I was completely humiliated, they handed me some jail clothes, and that's what I had to dress down in. Some used clothes. Of course it's going to be used. Like, they would never give us anything brand new. And not only are the jail clothes used, you have to wear somebody's used panties and bra. Like, I was so disgusted. And y'all, sometimes when you get underwear in jail, it's going to have stains on it. You have no choice but to wear it. Like, you could ask for a different pair, but the police, like, some police might be assholes and be like, no, you have to wear what we give you. Some might be cool and let you switch it out. But in that case, my very first pair, it didn't have any stains. But I told myself, I'm not sitting my bare cooch in nobody else's drawers. I went and got me a pad and put it in there. Because ain't no way, baby. Ain't no way. No. So y'all, once I dressed down, like, reality literally started to set in for me. Like, I'm literally in jail clothes. I'm about to be here for the next 18 days, pregnant and hungry. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I was really nervous because I didn't know what to expect. I'm thinking, like, I'm gonna go to a 2-man cell. My cellie gonna be crazy. My cellie gonna be trying to punk me on my commissary. She gonna be trying to fight me, and I'm gonna have to defend myself and my unborn child. Like, I'm gonna be fighting for my life for the next 18 days. Like, I just can't do this. So I'm low-key panicking. So after we're all dressed down, everybody goes back into the cell, and we just wait for the CO to call us out and then take us to our next destination. So the whole time we just sitting there talking, me and cousin, we just sitting there talking, you know, she just assuring me everything gonna be straight. Maybe an hour goes by, and the CO calls everybody out the cell, and we all line up. They handcuff our wrists, handcuff our ankles, and then we start walking. And like I told y'all before, they don't never tell us anything. So we just walking, and we can't talk. So we finally come to a stop at an automatic door. And then once the door opens, the CO says, go, everybody walk in. So we all walk in, y'all. And tell me why when we walked in, y'all, I was so relieved because it was not a 2-man cell. It was a dorm full of women. Oh my gosh, I was so relieved. There was bunk beds, there was phones, there was sinks, bathrooms, showers, a TV room. I was just like, yes. Y'all, I was so happy. I know, like, who would be happy to be in jail? But from where I came from down on 4th Avenue, like, just a bench and a floor, coming into a dorm with a damn bunk bed and a pillow, yes, I am relieved. I'm happy. We get to watch TV. I can use the phone. Like, I could order commissary. And not only that was, When we walked in, I seen my bestie. I seen Peaches. She was already there. They had took Peaches to jail before they took me and cousin. I was so happy to see my best friend. So after they handed us all of our stuff to make up our bed, me and cousin, we go over to find our bunk, and me and cousin were right next to each other. I remember our bunks were right in the very front. So the bunks were in groups of 8, and they were all in rows. And Peaches, she was all the way on the other side of the dorm in the very back. So I was low-key happy about being in the front. I didn't want to be in the back because when I first got there and I made in my bed, I remember I was just sitting on my bunk talking, and I heard a bunch of commotion, right? I turn around and look. I see this girl hop off the top of her bunk. Soon as she jumped down, her and this other girl just start squabbing. They in the back of the room just squabbing. And I'm like, nobody's going to break that up. So they stop fighting and they just walk off like nothing ever happened. I'm like, okay. Yeah, they get to fight in here. I wonder what else they get to do up in here. Now, y'all remember how I said Peaches was already there before cousin and I had got there. So when we got there, after we made our bunks, she started to introduce us to the people that she had already met. You know, they were real cool. My bunkie that was literally on the side of me, like to the left of me, she was in her mid-30s, I believe. And she was real nice. Like, she was a sweet lady. She didn't look like she deserved to be in jail, but she said that she was in jail because she had got a DUI. Now, she was supposed to be on, I think, probation for a year, but she had got another DUI while on probation, so she had to spend a year in jail. And at that point, she had been in jail before I got there for about 8 months. So I'm like, yeah, girl, you crazy because you got a slap on the wrist and then you gonna go do it again and now you gotta go sit in jail. But she crazy for real. But she was real nice though. I had no problems with her the whole time I was there. Now, sometimes the CO will call you by your name. No, your last name, not your first name. They'll either call you by your last name or they will call you by your bunk number. So my very first day there, I'm just sitting on my bunk talking to cousin and Peaches, and I hear bunk 3, bunk this, bunk that. So the CO had called me and cousin. And like I said, they usually don't tell you where you going. So next thing, everybody's lining up. All the bunks they call, they're all lining up. And then they, of course, handcuff us because we have to be handcuffed wherever we go. And we're just waiting for the other CO to come and get us. So the CO comes, they call us out of the dorm, and we just start walking. So we're walking, and then they lead us to another cell, and we're just sitting there. There was already people in that cell, and they're just talking amongst themselves, and they don't really know what's going on either. But there's some people who had already been to jail, and they're saying, oh, I think we just here to go to medical. And I'm thinking, like, what do I need to go to medical for? I don't know if it's routine for every new inmate to go to medical, but that's probably what it was. I don't know. But I'm just sitting there mad as hell because why do I need to go to medical? Somebody was telling me, well, you probably have to go to medical because you're pregnant. How long have you been here? And just ask me a whole bunch of questions. And I don't want to answer no damn questions. I don't want to talk to nobody because why am I here at medical? Why? I didn't ask to be serviced. And I don't want nobody checking up on my baby. I already have an OB. So if you think you finna call me down here to medical to check on my kid, you got me messed up. Like, y'all, we were sitting in that cell for a long time. It was hours. And I'm on the verge of tears because I don't want y'all touching my stomach. I don't want y'all nothing. If it's pertaining to my baby, I don't want it. I was dead serious on that. I was so mad. So they call my name and I come out and I sit and I talk to the nurse, and then she has me go into a room with another nurse. So I sit down on that little lounging bed. You know how you go to the doctor, they have that long bed. Yeah, they have one of those in the room. So I sit on the bed and then she's like checking my vitals. She's asking me questions pertaining to my pregnancy, asking me about testing and things like that. I just told her, can I refuse service? Because I already have a doctor. I don't need y'all to check on my baby. So she tells me, you can refuse service, but I just need to ask you a few more questions. I'm like, okay. So I'm sitting there. I'm giving her short answers because I'm livid, y'all. I am so mad because y'all don't need to be checking on my baby. I have a doctor. Like, if y'all want to test me for diseases or whatever, y'all can do that. But anything pertaining to my baby, leave her alone. The nurse, she asked me, is there anything, like, do you have any concerns? Are you having any problems? But I do tell her that I haven't felt my baby move all day, and I was a little bit worried about that. You know, even though I was refusing service, I was just being stubborn. So the nurse says to me, I know you refuse service, but if you don't mind, I can try to listen to the baby's heartbeat. And I was just sitting there. I wasn't saying anything because I was still mad. And she goes, would you mind if I listen? And I'm like, yes. I didn't really want to start talking because I was going to start crying. So I'm just like, yes. So she has me lay back and lift up my shirt, and she gets like the portable thing. I don't know what to call it. And she puts it on my stomach, and I can hear my baby heartbeat going crazy. So she in there, she good. She was probably just asleep. She probably was tired like I was because we had been up for a long time. We hadn't got any real rest since we were arrested. So I know my baby is tired and hungry. But after I listened to my baby's heartbeat, I was so relieved. And y'all, I felt bad because after the nurse was done listening to my baby's heartbeat, she was like, thank you so much for letting me do that. I've always wanted to do that. I was like, you're welcome. Tears started coming down my face. Y'all, don't judge me, okay? Hormones, I was going through a lot, okay? I was dealing with so much. After I finished seeing the nurse, we have to go back into the cell, and we have to wait until everybody sees the nurse until we can go back into our dorm. So after hours go by, because that shit literally be taking all day, we finally head back to the dorm. And by this time, when we get back to the dorm, it's already time to eat. It's dinner time. Everybody's lining up to get a tray of food, and they hand me a tray, and it was slop on a tray. And I said to myself, you know what? I think I'm gonna skip dinner tonight. So yes, I did throw that shit in the garbage, and I went to bed hungry because who about to eat slop? Who about to feed that baby that? Not me. In jail, you have a set bedtime. So after dinner, you probably have maybe an hour or two to be social, talk to your friends, use the phone, watch TV, shower, whatever you need to do. And then when it's lights out, it's lights out. Like, everybody has to be quiet. If you're not going to be asleep, you have to be quiet. You cannot talk to your neighbor at all because the CO will call you out on that. But you can get up and use the restroom if you need to. Like, that's all you can do. You can't get up and ask the CO questions or anything. It's when they say lights out, that's what they mean. Y'all, I remember my first night, I slept so good because I had just been sitting around in a damn jail cell for about 2-3 days. Hadn't got any real sleep. I just was dozing off here and there. But yeah, just know that when it was lights out, I went right to sleep. And I usually go to bed around 8:30 every night anyways. Like, still to this day, I still go to bed around the same time. I'm only up right now because I'm trying to record the story time. If I wasn't recording, trust me, I'd be asleep right now. I don't know why my body just shuts down around that time, but it does. But anyways, yeah, so I slept real good. Like, that little flat ass mattress I was sleeping on felt like a California king bed, okay? Now, the next morning in jail was totally different. They wake you up super early to serve you breakfast, okay? You have to make sure that you're up because they're gonna call your number. You have to be there to pick up your breakfast. If they're calling bunk 3 and you're not up to get your breakfast, they're gonna wait until you come get your breakfast. They will not skip you. If you bunk 3 don't come get their breakfast, they're not gonna be like, okay, they're not here right now. Bunk 4, come get yours. No. You have to go get your breakfast, and that's going to make people mad if you're not up there on time to get your food because niggas is hungry in the morning, okay? Now, I like breakfast only because I got a special diet because I was pregnant. Only a few of us got special diets. So, me and this other girl that was pregnant, she got the special diet meal, of course, and like people who had like an illness like diabetes or whatever illness they had if they were sick, or vegetarians, whatever, they got the special diet breakfast too. So what came with that breakfast was, I don't remember what everybody else got for breakfast. I don't know. I didn't care. But what I got was 2 boiled eggs, 2 mozzarella cheese sticks, some milk, an orange, and I believe that's it. It could have been something else, but I really don't remember, y'all. I honestly don't remember. And I will always throw my milk away because I don't drink cow's milk. I only drink almond milk. And people would start to notice that I was throwing my stuff away. Like, every meal you get, it comes with a milk or two, and I would always throw mine away. Once they see that I wasn't drinking or eating something, people would start to offer me stuff. And this other girl that was in the jail with me, she was just like, be careful with accepting things from people because they're going to want something in return. I was never accepting nothing from nobody anyways, but she saw how people kept offering me things, and I was just like, no, I'm good. So yeah, once they seen I was throwing my stuff away, they was only offering because they wanted whatever I was throwing in the trash. And y'all remember how I told you that cousin, she was my bunkie. She was literally in my bunk group. I would share my breakfast with her too because she was like, she not eating that nasty BS either. She wanted some of what I had. So I was sharing with her. Like, that was the only person I would share with besides my bestie. I would share with cousin. During my time in jail, I would talk to some of the people that Peaches had introduced me to. And there was one person in particular that I would talk to often. We just gonna call her Left Eye because she was just wild and crazy, loud. She just gave Left Eye vibes. And we gonna get into her a little bit later. I'm just mentioning her now because she's in the story. Now, the whole time I was there, I did keep in touch with my family. I would call my parents every single day. And lame bitch ass, he didn't have no money on his phone. So I would have my dad three-way call him for me. And I would ask him too. I would ask him like, are you going to put money on your phone? He would lie and tell me, yeah, but he never did. And like when I would talk to him on the phone, he was really dry with me too. And he just gave me the vibe that he didn't want to be with me no more. And that was so weird because literally right before I was arrested, you was laid up in a bed with me. So when I get arrested, go to jail, you do a completely 360 on me. Like, I'm confused. So yeah, y'all, he did have me thinking that he did not want to be with me nowhere because every time I would call him, he was so dry to me and he would rush me off the phone. And he also lied about putting money on his phone and putting money on my books. That man did not put no money on my books. But he did have the responsibility of paying my rent for me while I was in jail. And I wasn't even too sure if he was going to do that because I'm like, if he's acting like this towards me, maybe it's because he doesn't want to pay my rent for me. So I'm thinking like, when I get released from jail, I'm going to get evicted because I don't have no money to pay my rent. Do y'all remember how I told y'all my bunk was literally in the front? So where my bunk was, it was directly across from the showers. Now the showers, let me tell y'all about the showers. I do not like taking showers with other people. I don't want nobody looking at me naked. Hoes was in there being weird. Like, let me just tell y'all. So if y'all wondering, were the girls in there being gay? Yes. Yes, they were. And it irritated me so bad because, like I said, my bunk was directly across from the damn shower. Like, it was right in front of the shower. You can use the shower, bath, you can do whatever you want all day. So if you want to get up, go take a shower, you can go in there and do it. You don't have a set schedule to take a shower. So some girls would, the ones who like girls, they would shower around the same time. So I remember one day I'm just chilling, sitting on my bunk, and some of the girls, like a few of the girls, they walked into the shower. And they were just being real loud. It sounds like they were just in their horse playing. But I just remember them being real loud. And then one of the girls, she opened the shower curtain and she was calling more girls to come into the shower. And I'm like, what the hell? What are they doing? So I'm just sitting there and I start to hear some noises. They was doing an orgy or something in there. I don't know. I didn't see nothing, but I was definitely hearing some things going on. And they wasn't calling and recruiting more girls to come in the shower for nothing. They was in there getting down with the get down. I guess if that's what they into, that's on them. But I was irritated because I had to hear the shit. And the COs, they couldn't hear what was going on because their desk was far away from the shower. They didn't know that girls was in there, you know, touching and feeling on each other. Whatever the hell they was doing in there, the COs didn't know nothing about it. And speaking of gay, all right, so new inmates would come in every day. And I remember there was this one inmate that the girls was on, okay? Because she kind of looked like Justin Bieber when he looked like this, only with dark hair. The girls was on her. And when she see me, she just started calling me her baby mama. And I thought it was funny at first. Like, she would walk up to me and, like, rub my stomach and be like, what's up, baby mama? Or if I'm walking, like, sometimes people would do laps around the dorm. If I'm walking or she's walking or she walked past me, she would be like, hey baby mama, what's up? Like she would just always speak to me. She would always call me her baby mama. And girls would sometimes look at me crazy because I don't know if they probably thought that I like Justin Bieber or something. I don't know. Maybe they were jealous because Justin Bieber was calling me her baby mama. I don't know. Who knows? But they was looking at me crazy. They was giving me them stares because they had a little crush on Justin Bieber. And Justin Bieber wasn't paying them no type of attention. Justin Bieber wanted a baby mama. But after a while, I did stop talking to Justin Bieber. I don't know if I'm trying to push it out of my memory, but she either did or said something that made me just completely stop talking to her. She gave me the vibe that she was trying to take my virginity, and I'm not going. And I'm not into girls. I don't know if she thought we was finna get released and be together and we was gonna be one big happy family with a newborn baby. Let me just go ahead and nip this in the bud right now. Let me stop talking to her because she's weird. She definitely gave me weird vibes, and I did think she was going to try to take my virginity, y'all. So I stopped talking to her. I was in jail, y'all, just hoping and praying that my time would just fly by. I started to ask the COs questions about my sentence because I knew that each day served was $100. So I'm thinking, okay, so I'm going to be here for 18 days. So does that mean that $1,800 is going to be knocked off my fine? So I really wanted to know that. I needed somebody to explain that to me. So I remember one of the COs was walking around and I tried to get her attention. Like I kept calling her, but I don't know if she didn't hear me or if she was just ignoring me. But I remember I was walking up behind her and I called her name. And then she turned around like she was startled. And she gonna have the nerve to say to me, don't be walking up behind me because I'll mace you. You finna mace me because I was trying to get your attention. It's not like I'm trying to attack you and I'm pregnant. Like, are you for real? Like, I just be thinking they abuse their power. They treat you like shit just because they feel like they can. In no way, shape, or form that this lady who's bigger and stronger than me honestly thought that my pregnant self was trying to harm her in any kind of way. She was just doing all that and be extra because she was the CO. But not all COs were bad because I remember I woke up in the middle of the night one night and my nose was bleeding and I just got some tissue and tried to make my nose stop bleeding. I laid back down. And then I had passed right out. And I remember the CO, she was tapping on me. She was like, here, are you okay? Do you need a towel? And that was the only CO that showed any kind of concern. So yeah, not all COs are bad. And oh, let me tell y'all about this too. Let me tell y'all why all COs are not bad. Let me tell you what happened. So one day I'm sleep right. I'm knocked out. It's like in the middle of the day. Everybody just, doing them. I'm taking me a nice pregnant nap. Tell me why I'm asleep for a couple hours. I wake up and my shoes are gone. Somebody had the nerve to steal my shoes from me while I'm asleep. Like, what? Why? You have your own shoes. Everybody got the same damn shoes. What would possess you to take my shoes? Everybody literally has the same damn raggedy ass sandals. That pissed me off so bad. And I have OCD. Ain't no way in hell I'm finna be walking around this dirty ass floor with no shoes on. So I'm sitting on my bed and I'm calling Peaches because, cousin gone. She only got 3 days. I'm calling Peaches. I'm like, Peaches, I don't have no shoes. Come over here. Come over here. She's like, what? You ain't got no shoes. So she runs over to me. She's like, what happened to your shoes? I'm like, I don't know. I was over here taking a nap. I wake up and my shoes are gone. One of these bitches stole my shoes. So the night CO that woke me up and gave me a towel for my bloody nose, she went and got me some more shoes. And I'm sure that the CO that threatened to mace me, she wouldn't have gave a fuck. She wouldn't have cared if I had any shoes or not. So yeah, all COs were not bad, y'all. Oh, and speaking of a thief, remember when I told y'all that my mama kept money on my books? So I was in there eating good. One day I'm taking me another pregnant nap. And remember I told y'all, it's nothing but mainly junkies in jail. So we get new bunkies rotated in and out all the time. We had a new bunkie in our bunkie group of 8. The one on the side of me, she was still there, the one with the DUI, and the one above me, she had been there for 8 months already. She was in there for shoplifting, but she was real cool. But the hoe that was next to her, she was a junkie. She was a junkie. She was coming down off drugs. She was always sick. She didn't have no money in her books to buy food, nothing. Let me tell you what this hoe did. After I had woke up from my midday pregnant nap, of course I'm hungry. So I reach into my commissary bag for a Chico stick. And I'm like, okay, I'm feeling around because I know I got at least 5 Chico sticks in here. I don't feel any Chico sticks. So I'm like, maybe I'm just missing it. So I'm like, let me just move my bag on my lap and actually look in the bag for a Chico stick because I'm craving right now. I need a snack. So I look in my bag and I'm like, I don't have no Chico sticks. And tell me why on the back of my bag it's a hole this big. So while I was taking me a midday pregnant nap, this junky ass hole tore a hole in my commissary bag and stole my Chico sticks in midday. Peaches, where the hell was your antennas at while this hole was stealing from me? Y'all, I was so mad. I'm like, a bitch already done stole my shoes, and this junkie hoe done stole my food. But I couldn't do anything about it because I literally had no proof that she stole from me. Even though it was obvious, I mean, she's literally the only one over here without no commissary, and you real hungry because you steady asking people if you can have this or that off them. And plus, I know that junkies like to eat sweets, so I knew it was you with your sunburned ass. All right, so let's talk about the jail drama. Y'all remember what I told y'all about that girl we called Left Eye? On this day, Left Eye had court, and when you have court, you're literally going all day. They wake you up before the rest of the inmates, and they take you to court. You don't get back until it's time to eat dinner. So Left Eye was gone all day long, and when she got back, she had a story to tell. Let me tell y'all what this girl said. So everybody who knew Peaches and me, we were all just in a group talking. We were talking about court. And then Left Eye, she was like, yeah, there was this girl at court. She said she knew you, Key. And I'm like, she knew me. What was her name? She was like, I don't remember this girl's name, but I know what she looked like. She was real big and she was light skinned. She was just talking hella shit about you. And I'm like, what was she saying? Because I'm thinking like, I don't have no beef with no big light skin. Who could be possibly talking about me? Like, I'm highly confused. But Left Eye just started telling me how the girl was saying how I had beef with her sister, just some lame shit. I don't know. But she was just like, yeah, that girl was talking hella shit about you. But I'm thinking like, how does this girl even know I'm in jail? Like, how did y'all get to talking about me? Like, it didn't make no sense to me. So I sat and I pondered on it. Then it hit me. I knew exactly who it was. So do y'all remember my friend? I don't know what I called her in that story time. Hold on, I gotta go look back. All right, y'all, so I remember what I called her. Y'all remember that story time? She was a 304, a liar, and a thief, something like that. Ebony, her. So Ebony did know that I was in jail, and the girl that was talking bad about me was her best friend. We gonna call her best friend, let's just call her Rolly. So Rolly was still mad about some beef that happened years ago. This literally happened when I was 18 and she's still mad. Like, girl, I'm with child. I'm with the whole nother nigga. Like, you still mad about something that didn't even happen to you? Make it make sense. This is why the hoe was mad. One day I was over Ebony's house like I usually was every other weekend. I was hanging out with Ebony and my cousin. Ebony's best friend, Rolly, moved in. I guess she didn't have nowhere to go and she needed to stay with her. And yeah, so the girl was cool. She was real cool at first. And she started to bring this other girl around. And it was the girl that had took us to the store to get the liquor when we threw that big crazy party and the police came, makes my little brother. Yeah, all that. Ebony, she's so messy. She is so messy. She just loved to see some drama. This girl loved to see a fight. Like, she's so messy. Ebony tells me one day that the girl, Rolly's sister, whoever the girl is, I don't know. I don't think they were sisters because, girl, if you homeless and that's your sister, how come you couldn't go stay with her? But anyway, we're just gonna call her friend. Ebony says, friend is talking to Ty. You know about that? I'm like, no. If I knew about that, I would have spoke up on it. She was like, yeah, that's what I heard. Friend is talking to Ty. Yeah, she be always talking to him. They be on the phone. She be pulling up on him. I'm like, oh, for real? Y'all remember Ty? I was telling y'all, like, we never dated, but we had this weird relationship where we would be talking sometime and sometimes we would just be friends. Like, it was really weird, but we never slept together. After all those years that we knew each other, we never slept together. And Todd is the same one who I made that story time about. I moved in a bum with me and my kids, something like that. So yeah, that's Todd. So I'm like, oh yeah, so she's talking to my dude, because at this point we talking, like I'm on him. Even though I already got a man, I'm already dealing with somebody, but I'm on him. Like, I will leave my man if Todd told me to, type stuff. So I'm like, oh yeah, she talking to Todd. So I walk up the street to call Todd. Yes, I did have enough respect for him not to cuss him out in front of everybody. But I'm going to need to stop the story time right here because I'm running out of stories. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm going to post part 3 2 days after I post this story time. So please be on the lookout for that, y'all. I'm so sorry I had to make a part 3. I just wanted to get this story time over with. But part 3 is going to be right on the way after this one. So thank y'all so much for tuning in. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe to my channel, y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching. Bye.